How do you teach Catholic high school students in Los Angeles about a country that is 9,000 miles away from their home? How do you help them understand the point of view of an ancient people committed to modern democratic values, despite seemingly unresolvable political strife? How do you explain the deep and historic connection of the Jewish people to a country called home by three of the world's great religions? If you are a high school teacher, the answer is simple. You go to Israel and see for yourself. In March of 2004, 7 Catholic high school teachers and the superintendent of the Los Angeles Archdiocese high schools spent 10 days in Israel as part of the Holy Land Democracy Project. They wanted to gain a deeper personal understanding of modern-day Israel and the people who live there, so they could teach a week-long course about Israel to their students.
Many of the students had little understanding of the fact that it's a land of religious tolerance and that it's definitely a democracy, and they did have the same interests and hopes and fears as Americans do.
None of the teachers had ever been to Israel. None of them will ever feel the same about Israel after going there.
You know, the first day I came back with the class and you show pictures, they're immediately 50 times more interested in it because there's a personal connection than if you said, okay, open your books to page 255 and let's read about Israel.
An awful lot of students lumped it in with Afghanistan and Iraq and Jordan and expected to see Arabs and thought it was a dictatorship like all the rest of the Middle East.
It was easier to learn from you because we could ask you questions and you could answer from your own personal experience. If you see something like on the news or in a textbook, you can't ask questions to get a more specific answer so you understand it better.
Because of the trip, the teachers had a unique and personal way to share real knowledge about Israel with their students.
Among Latinos, there seems to be identification with the Arabs, with the Palestinians, as being treated as second-class citizens, and there's kind of an affinity for the Palestinians. That's one of the big things that changed as a result of the lessons. They had a more accurate picture.
I wish that someone, before I hit college, would have taken the opportunity to educate me about what's really going on.
The class culminated in a student contest for written or artistic work that reflected what they had learned about modern-day Israel.
I didn't realize how much of a democracy it was, and I tended to think of it as more just a Jewish state. Not really with the religious freedoms that we have here, but it's very similar to the United States, actually.
The kids over there listen to the same type of music and kind of watch the same TV shows as us, so they weren't that different at all.
It was just surprising to me to look at the map and see Israel, which is, really small, and all these huge surrounding countries, Palestinian or Arab countries, and how Israel is about the size of New Jersey, of the United States, and they're the underdog. They're up against all these people who hate them.
You go in there, you showed us real pictures of what people look like, and it just showed a big difference.
I was a firm believer that we had a real stake in seeing Israel succeed, as ultimately democracy is what might help to bring about a real lasting peace to that area.
My students had an awesome opportunity to learn about the only democracy in the Middle East, and they turn on their TV and all they see is all this violence going on, and so they're automatically thinking about it in a negative light because that's what the media gives us. When anytime you could teach a person about truth and fact and tolerance, that's reason in and of itself to continue this program.
There's a real desire for us to know each other. Judaism is our roots. Being in Israel was a dream come true.
The Holy Land Democracy Project, the many faces of Israel, creating a world of understanding.